These are essentially hardware that somebody can straight away use and build their own models on top of that. The second layer, which is what Aptech is now used, is where we have Bedrock. Bedrock is our middle layer where somebody says, look, I don't want to be really in the realm of understanding which chip to be used, which GPU to be used, how should it be used. Please abstract that for me, I don't want to get into that. But tell me, upwards of that, can I start bringing in any kind of foundation model? So somebody might say, look, we want to use A foundation model or a B foundation model or a C foundation model. What Bedrock gives you is the ability to bring in any foundation model that is best suited for your purposes. Now in this case, what Krival has done is gone ahead and used Claude Sonnet 3.5, and that's primarily because Sonnet 3.5 has got advanced image capabilities that's able to understand the nuances between different images. So just for you to know, like some of the earlier examples that came in, for you to know how light is really coming into that particular picture. You know, is it coming from an aspect of reflection or is it coming from an aspect of sunlight? Is this impression art or is this Renaissance art? Is it something else that somebody has created where you've got a tiger moving in a certain way, or is it actually an animated version of tiger? So all of those is what Claude Sonnet 3.5 is able to bring in, and that becomes a preferred model here for somebody to use. But that said, you know, you can have Bedrock tomorrow suddenly say, look, I've now got another model which does this much better. Can I port out and get another model? Yeah, absolutely. It's a single API call, so you can straight away bring in another model at that point in time. But the key in all of this remains that you can have enterprise grade security and you can scale these models up and down exactly like you would do in an enterprise setting. That's what makes the difference between deploying it standalone on a foundation model or deploying it on a regular Bedrock instance. Of course, you see some of the other capabilities that are out there, the ability for it to immediately sync as well as connect with various other AWS services. There was a particular service that he was talking about, which is how do you store it. In fact, the entire workflow on this actually happens where every student is given a customer ID, and against that customer ID, the image is first uploaded onto a particular data, a storage service, which is called S3. It's uploaded there for the entire time that it is in transit, which is the time the student actually uploads to the time it reaches that storage service, and then comes back again, it continues to be encrypted. So at no point do you have anybody actually accessing that data. That's number one. Also at no point is that data being used to train the base foundation model. So your data remains your data, which is the customer or the student's data remains their own private data. It is not used to train any foundation model, or it is not used to fine-tune without their consent. So that's an important key aspect of enterprise-grade security that we put in here. And then as it is also being processed, which is both in transit and at rest, the data is encrypted at all points in time. I think that becomes our key, if I may use the pun word, bedrock to this entire service. Right? So that's what we had, but then over to you.
On our e-commerce platform, or rather I would say the online arm of, and that's Provide. This is the first ever something that we have been able to crack in the sector. Some of the SKUs which are available, these are for purchase. Of course, this is on an introductory. We wanted to test and do a sampling. So this is obviously introductory pricing that would be there. What does this mean? That you can actually buy this to evaluate your artwork. So a student can come, he can log in as a normal student as he would on an online space, which is our own ecosystem. He can purchase a Krival and he can use Krival. One Krival is equal to one image evaluation. Again, a small login screen. A similar functionality of a shopping cart. This is the place where we have actually helped our student to tag the image. It's very important for us to know from a computer perspective what image is being uploaded, what is that category, because based on that category I have certain inputs that I would pass it on to the model. Once he does that or she does it, he or she has a section where he can see, it's a showcase to you. You can download it, it's a PDF which will give you a report detailed generation.